Hey guys, it's Liliana, and today I have a special guest here. She is Kat Gomez, and we're actually going to be speaking on a topic where I was actually on YouTube Live last night, and I had incredible people. Thank you so much for everyone subscribing and everything. It was very engaging and very full of love and light. And I wanted to speak about the number one topic a lot of people were asking. It's by Wandi Banda. I hope I'm saying it right. It's how to deal with a partner who has never been loved or has trauma. I'm going to have Kat speak first because she is a special guest and we do want to hear her thoughts, right? So go ahead, introduce yourself as well if you would like.
Okay, so my name is Kat Gomez, and I'm here today to answer the heartbreaking question of how do you deal with a partner who has past trauma? The topic that's very delicate, it's how do you deal with a partner that has past trauma, because it gives. So I would say in like my personal experience, like I'll move around it carefully. Like I'll ask them like, okay, what has happened in their past? Like if they do something that maybe is a little uncalled for, if they get angry fast, if maybe.
What do you think that means when you're in a relationship and the person gets angry fast? Like why do you think that happens?
So I feel like when we get angry fast, we don't have a lot of patience, and that could be something like from their childhood. Maybe their parents didn't have enough patience for them, or maybe they're scared.
I feel like it can be like they also don't feel heard. A lot of people, because you're speaking about your experience, I'm kind of like saying my experience and like in general, like people sometimes when you argue with someone, like me and Kat can be having a conversation, but like if I put my tone a little bit higher, it's because I don't feel validated by her, or I also don't feel heard by her. So when you communicate with someone, make sure that you repeat what they say. It's just like, because when you repeat what someone's saying, you feel heard, like, oh, you were listening. Like, I don't know if you've ever been in a conversation, but let's say like you tell them, oh yeah, I've been here, I've been in Washington, and I grabbed this food, I love that food, it's Italian. And then like a couple weeks later, you guys meet each other again, and then that person is like, this is an example, that person's like we're here in Florida, like let's go grab Italian food. Like then you feel heard, like you feel like this person actually cares about you, you feel like more understood. So like I feel like what you're saying now, when someone gets upset, it's because they don't have patience. I agree with that patience, but there can be people that still get mad at you and have patience. You know, I just feel like it's really about being heard in a relationship. But
dealing with different traumas and different things with different people, everyone has trauma. We all have had something happen to us in the past, and and the most important thing, I guess, how I deal with it is like, I recognize that, okay, this has happened, but like, am I gonna let that affect my future?
how are you going to react to that trauma? How are you going to heal? Like, are you going to heal in a toxic way? Because the question is like how to deal with a partner who has never been loved or has trauma. I feel, for example, both my parents, they never had time for me. Never had time for me. Like they never had time. So I always acted out in school. And I didn't know this until like I reached like 17 years old, that I acted out in school because I needed that, like, I wanted them to hear me out. I was screaming for them to give me, hey, like, you don't do that. I wanted that communication, that bond, because when you really communicate with someone, that's a bond that no one can destroy, because your communication is so high. It's such a priority. Loved. And I remember, like that when you bring that in a relationship, that the trauma of never being heard, never being validated, not feeling loved, and you're trying, and the partner that's with you is trying to love you, sometimes you are going to be like, oh my god, this love that this person is giving to me, I've never felt that before, so I am going to just ruin it. Because sometimes we ruin things because we don't feel deserving of them, and we don't understand this, and it's like so weird that we have to change to become better, because being better is very uncomfortable. Being better is literally you doing things that are not fun. Like, watching a personal development movie. I'm not talking about like fun entertainment stuff, like really sitting down with yourself and processing your emotions. That's really hard work, because now you have to look at yourself in the mirror and kind of just be like, I don't like this about myself, and I think I kind of don't love myself because I don't like this about myself. So, to deal with a partner like that, I think it also depends on, does this person actually align with your values and your morals? Because if they don't, I don't even think that they're worth, I know that sounds bad, but I don't think they're worth of you loving them. Like, I don't think it's worth for you to give that energy, that love, that commitment to that person, because if you guys are not aligned, like if two people don't want the same goal, if two people don't want the same thing, because you're going to end up the relationship way before you even start communicating correctly. You're going to end the relationship because you don't want what I want. We have goals. This is not like kindergarten where it's like, oh, your favorite color is green, my favorite color is green, let's get married. No, like, people really say that they like each other, and it's like, you can like someone as much as you want, but that like is going to disappear. So you need to make sure it's like a bond, it's a trust, and a communication where it's like nothing can tear you apart. Have you ever, you say, like, if someone that you're trying to love and they don't allow themselves to be loved because they have so much trauma, how would you deal with that partner?
How would I deal with that partner?
Like, what's your perspective of that?
I think I would be, like I said, very patient and understanding, and try to figure out, because it's really not like you shouldn't be fighting with your loved ones. You should find like what's going on, like, let's solve the problem. Let's not fight with in between ourselves.
Let's not think that you're the problem, I'm the problem. Like,
Yeah.
when we talk about communication, a lot of people, you guys need to understand, even if you align with this person, let's say you guys both have the same goal, you guys want the same, car, want the same house, want the same have the same kind of boundaries, whatever it is, just align with each other. Like, you guys know how to say sorry, whatever it is. Person's perspective on how they apologize, on how they make you feel loved. Because one thing I've noticed too, a lot of people get in relationships and they love their partner the way they want to be loved. And that's a big no-no, because I'm going to feel alone and I'm not going to feel loved if you're not loving me kind of like how I want to be loved.
Right.
You're just loving me on your perspective on how you want to be loved. It's showing me how you want to be loved, but it's not the way I want to be loved. So trauma can make it difficult for people to express themselves. So it's important to communicate your needs and your feelings. You can explain your triggers, what signs indicate you're struggling, and how they can help. You can also try to use the same words they use. Like I said, regular communication can help your partner feel included and less confused. So what that's saying is basically try to view your partner's perspectives as much as you can. Like, I think we are so into our own ego and we always want to be right. And the thing is that in a partnership, it's not about who's right and who's wrong at all. It's literally like, this is you, this is me, this is us now. So you need to understand this. If you genuinely want to align with your partner and want to be at peace with your partner and be happy, because that's what you want, true happiness, true love.
I think we should also be compassionate and empathetic. So you want to make sure you move with compassion towards your partner. Try to feel what they're feeling. Put yourself, like the old saying, put yourself in other people's shoes. Like, how did they live their life? Like, why do they think like this? Why are they reacting like this? Something has happened. So make sure, like, you're putting yourself in other people's shoes, not just your partner's shoes. This can be advice for everywhere. Don't blame or shame your partner for their trauma, and accept their feelings. You can also try to understand their perspective by learning more about their trauma. So, like, of course, like the old saying, like, you should never blame somebody else for their trauma in their past, because they can't change that. It's already been done. They can't change their trauma. What has happened has already happened. And like, everyone should understand, like I said, like, it's all about understanding. It's all about feeling the other person. So.
Yes, I 100% agree with you. I think that's the other thing in relationships, where I think, especially like, because there's different ways you can see this, because you can also be the very compassionate person and the other person is just so cruel to you that takes advantage of that compassion. And the thing is that you need to understand that when someone takes advantage of how your kindness and they're not aware of that, they just take it. They're not aware what they're doing. They don't apologize. They're just not aware. Let's say they do apologize, but they continue with their actions and they're just not aware. You need to let that person go, because now they're taking an advantage that they know every single time they have you to love them, even when they're feeling down. And it's not your responsibility every single time that they're feeling down that they come to you whenever they need you and use you to make themselves feel better. So be careful with what partner you choose. I think people are having kids from left to right nowadays,
Right.
and it's because they want to, they live in lust, and it's way more than just you're so pretty, you're so hot, oh my god, like it's way more than that. And I think people think that they know it's more than that, but it's like, you need to also understand, if you really love your partner, why is your partner not getting better with you? Because I see this too, that a lot of people relationships, and now they both are not hitting the gym, or like, or the other one lost her job and the other one is like, oh, like just nagging, oh, you're just not getting a job. No, like, support your partner. The other one has a business idea and the other person is just like, oh, I don't think it's gonna work out. Like, no, like, and if this is something that maybe you suffer from individually, then you need to learn how to love yourself individually, because you need to get in a relationship and it has to be full of everything, not just
Right.
like love. It's commitment, being authentic, because the thing is that a lot of people are also hiding themselves from who they really are from their partner, because they don't want to see that. I don't want you to see that side of them. But the truth is, a partnership and love is all about vulnerability. So I know it's hard for me, especially. I don't know if it's hard for you to be vulnerable sometimes, because people nowadays will take advantage of that so easily. I know people have taken advantage of that of me, because I'm a very nice person. Forget who you are, because there will be somebody that aligns to who you are, like your vulnerability and your love. Setting boundaries is important in the relationship. I feel like I have definitely I did date a person and they struggled with setting boundaries, not just for me, but with everyone. So everyone kind of ran over them, took this person be by themselves, because I wanted to make sure this person had enough energy for themselves. Someone was taking, and I know this was happening because this person didn't have boundaries with me. Like, sometimes a woman and a man have to hear like, babe, I can't do that right now, or like, babe, or whatever you call your partner, like, babe, let's communicate about this in a healthy way, like no yelling, no arguing, and actually be held accountable for your actions. Like, hey, you're yelling at me. I know, let's say I did something wrong. If she comes and yells at me, I should boundary so strict. Hey, I don't like the way you're speaking to me. Until you can speak the proper way to me, I'm leaving. And the other person she should not get upset, because that's respectable. Like, that's love. For both partners to manage their emotions and respect each other's boundaries.
We're trying to also say, like Liliana was saying, to add on, is take care of ourselves. Like, a lot of people get in a relationship and they're just on to one person, just one person. That person's their whole world. Sure, that's all great, but what happens when that person leaves? Where's the individuality? It's easy to get caught up and wrapped up in a really great thing at the moment, because we are all human, and if we don't take care of our individualities, we're gonna lose ourselves.
That's
and
true.
And it may not be forever. Not everything in this world is gonna be forever, and it sucks to say, but like, it will end, or it could end at a certain day, a certain time. You don't know. It could. It's
yes.
not.
We don't want to put that in your thoughts, though. That's why it's
you don't
want to
go into it. You don't want to go
align.
into it with negativity. You just want to keep your individuality for your own sake.
You want to have the power of detachment. That's what it is. But it is very good for you to keep your individuality and not get lost into a partner. That's my toxic trait, because like I said, I felt not loved as a child and a lot of trauma, and just my family members, if I didn't do something a certain way, it was just like, you're not loved, you're not good enough. So being individual and just doing your own thing is very important. Just make sure, like I said, that has a lot to do with boundaries. Make sure your partner knows, hey babe, like I'm going out with my friends, you know, I'm not, one thing is like people nowadays are so rude where you go out with your friends, you don't text your spouse, and it's like that's very rude, because I just feel like it's common sense if for me to text my spouse, hey babe, like everything's okay, I'll be home soon, or you know, like make sure you communicate. That's the reason your spouse is getting angry at you or whoever it is, because it's like you're saying one thing, you're doing another. You say you love me, but I don't feel love because you're not doing the things that make me feel loved. Oh, and it's also very manipulative if you're like doing everything that they want and that the other person wants. So make sure that you guys are both doing things you both want. It's compromising and consideration.
Healing a relationship is affected by trauma and can be stressful, so it's important to make time for yourself and do things that make you feel good. But we shouldn't be doing sketchy things behind our partner's back. It doesn't mean, oh, go to the bar like every Friday night with the boys, and you know, then your wandering eyes goes to the hot
or like
chicks and the other
girls
side of the room.
going out to clubs without their boyfriends. Like I think, you know, I think that is honestly not okay. Like the more I live in this generation, the older I get, I understand the importance of just being with your man and not having, maybe having like some girlfriends, but make sure those girls are in relationships. Because when you're single and you're a woman and you're around other single women, they never have, they're single for a reason.
Yeah.
That's all I gotta say. But also, I don't want to say it in a bad way, because being single can be a good thing. But what I'm trying to say is that women, you know, they tend to just be envious or kind of oh, you know your worth, girl, like don't be with that guy. But you also need to understand that if you love this person, the other person and you should definitely figure things out. Okay, and if the other person doesn't want to figure things out, then you have to go, because the other person is not trying. And if you're the only one trying, that is so draining. You know, a relationship can't just be 50, it has to be 50 and 50. And I'm talking about emotional wise as well, not finances. It's just basically, don't try to heal your partner's trauma. Okay, is that you're not responsible for your partner's feelings, but you can still be supportive and let them know that you're there for them. Being there for your partner and taking their trauma is two different things. You can't really take anyone's trauma, but you can definitely be there for them. Hey, like, I know you're not feeling well, I made you some tea, or let's go here, let's go there, or here, like, let me just hug you. But you're not responsible for the way they feel. You're not, because it's not your emotion. But you can definitely be there for them and just make sure that, you know, you do your best. You know, if they're not feeling better, then you're not the person for them. Because someone that's for you, when you feel that connection, that genuine connection, you're going to feel better and enlightened and more heartwarming, because that person is literally like with you through it and is making you feel better and supportive, and vice versa. Like, make sure that whenever your partner is not feeling well, you're there for them. Any input on that?
No, I think that all the things said, like, they're gonna be helpful. Let us know, like, if you find this like
Video
podcast insightful, and
Yes.
you know that you can use it in your own life and your personal growth. Like, this is what this channel is about. It's about personal growth, personal development, getting better. You know, recognizing that we are all human, and you know, sometimes we need, you know, advice from other people and other people who have lived the same or different lives than you. So
Yes, guys, thank you so much for enjoying the video. Comment down below what was your favorite part of the video, and thank you for the topic. We love you guys. Bye-bye.
bye.